We knew it would be a significant change when we decided to move to Canada. Not only was it a new country, but we were starting from scratch, a new place to live, getting used to a new climate and culture, and so on. Let me tell you though that one of the biggest challenges was learning to live well on a tight budget. But with careful planning and frugal living, we managed to thrive in our new home. In this episode, I'll share what we did and how you can apply these tips to your own life as an immigrant in Canada. Hey there, welcome to Finding Joy with Less podcast. This is Marianne, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. Through a mix of frugal tips, of financial education, and sharing our debt-free journey as a family, I hope to help you discover joy and a greater appreciation for life. I also want to encourage you, if you have failed to achieve what you thought was your dream, it is okay to start over and build a new life by unlocking your potential with your God-given gifts and talents, and use that to your advantage to gain financial freedom. So with the help and encouragement of my sisters who are already living in Canada, my husband and I decided to immigrate here more than 4 years ago. We had to leave our friends, relatives, and our comfort zone in hopes that we'll have a better future in a new country. And that's because we want to give our children a chance to have a better future. Not that they can't have that in the Philippines, but because we know that in Canada there would be a lot more opportunities for us. The process of immigrating wasn't easy. It took more than a year before we could set foot on Canadian soil. We had to go through a lot of paperwork, not to mention the financial requirements, but we finally got our visas, landed in Toronto in 2018, and settled in New Brunswick with our family. Without experience in the food service industry, I took on a job as a shift manager at Burger King. It was also nice of John, the former owner, to hire my husband, so it was the first time we had to work together. We are grateful that our first employer sponsored our visas, and because of that, we are now permanent residents here in Canada. So enough about us, because I want to share how you can thrive financially as an immigrant in a new country. When you're starting over in a new country, one of the biggest challenges can be adjusting to a different financial landscape. So here are some tips to help you succeed financially as a newcomer. Number 1, research and take advantage of community resources serving immigrants. Several resources and communities in Canada aim to help immigrants settle in, and I'll provide a link to this in the blog post. We learned about YMCA Newcomer Information Center, and they offer many services and programs that can help you ease into life in Canada. Such programs are language classes, cultural adjustment workshops, and employment programs. You can also take advantage of many other services available at national and regional levels and find most of them online. Number 2, set up your social security and open a bank account. As soon as you arrive in Canada, you will need to apply for a social security number. This will allow you to work and access many services such as healthcare. And once you have your social security number, you can open a bank account. And then you have to do your research and compare banks to see which offers the best interest rates and fees for newcomers. Third, you gotta build your credit score. In Canada or even in the US, a credit score is very important, and you have to build yours as soon as possible. A good credit score will give you access to better interest rates when you need to borrow money in the future. This could be for a mortgage or finance a reliable car if necessary. You can start by opening a secured credit card and using it only for regular expenses such as groceries and gas. Just be sure to make your payments on time and in full to avoid high interest rates. As an added tip, it is better to have a higher credit limit but only use less than 35% of the limit to maintain a good credit score or credit utilization ratio. Number 4 is to learn the currency and tax rates. When you're on a tight budget, it's important to understand how much things cost in your new currency. And it can be tricky to figure out the conversion, but many online resources can help. In addition, get to know the sales tax in your province or territory. In Canada, that could range from 5 to 15%. Where we are, New Brunswick, the sales tax is 15%, and this is not added yet to the price tag of goods. So you'll only know your total amount once you're ready to pay at the counter. It is important to know this so you can calculate the total cost of items before making a purchase. Number 5, find affordable housing. Renting or buying a house is one of the most significant expenses you will have to budget for. So do your research and compare prices in different areas before making a decision. Many online resources help you find an affordable place to live. So once you find something online, don't hesitate to negotiate the rent with your landlord. If you're buying a house, get a real estate agent to help you find the best deals. We've found a good real estate agent who's very helpful to us. You can usually find groups for immigrants from your country of origin on Facebook, and these groups could be a lot of help. Local communities typically have an official community to help newcomers find an affordable place to live when starting out. You never know, they can even connect you with the best accommodation and daycare if you mention you'll bring your kids with you. Remember that affordable housing is also accessible with public transportation. Number 6, create and stick to a budget. Creating and sticking to a budget is essential when starting over in a new country. There are many ways to create a budget, but one of the simplest ways is to track your income and expenses for a month. This will give you a good idea of where your money is going and how much you can realistically save each month. This will help ensure that your finances are in order and that you're not spending more than you can afford. Once you have a budget, try your best to stick to it. One way to do this is to set up a separate bank account for your savings. This way, you won't be tempted to spend your hard-earned money on unnecessary things. Number 7, don't rush to buy all things brand new. Being in a new country does not mean you need to buy all new things. Instead, try to save money by shopping at secondhand stores or online classified websites. You can find everything from furniture to clothes to appliances for a fraction of the price. And here in Canada, there are lots of places to buy used home goods that are still in excellent condition. And you can even find some of these things for free from local buy nothing groups. We saved money by doing these things, so we were able to make better purchases for our long-term goals. Number 8, shop wisely at groceries and local markets. As you know, eating out can be expensive, so it's vital to learn how to cook affordable meals at home. To do this, you'll need to know how to shop wisely at the grocery store. One way to save money is to buy in bulk when items are on sale, if you know you'll be able to consume them. This might not work if you don't have the space, but if you do, store up on sale items like rice, meat, or pasta noodles. You can also look for generic brands, usually cheaper than name brands. And another tip is to make a list before you go shopping so you know exactly what you need and don't end up buying things you don't need. Number 9, write down your financial goals. Having financial goals to know where you want to be in the future is essential. Do you want to save up for a down payment on a house? Or are you hoping to buy a reliable car? Whatever your goals, you want to make sure they are realistic and achievable. Once you've written them down, create an action plan and start working toward them. This will help you stay on track and make better financial decisions. This will also help remind you why you've decided to migrate to another country in the first place. Number 10, start saving right away. One of the best things you can do when starting over in a new country is to start saving immediately. Even if you're only able to save a little bit each month, it's crucial to get into the habit of saving. You'll never know when you'll need extra money for unexpected expenses. So having an emergency fund can help you cover unforeseen costs without going into debt. And tell you what, you can also start contributing to a retirement savings plan as soon as possible. This will help you take advantage of compound interest and reach your retirement goals sooner. Number 11, research before you make big purchases. In Canada, there are many things to buy and it can be tempting just to go out and purchase whatever you want. However, it's vital to do your research before making any big purchases. This includes everything from buying a car to signing up for a cell phone plan. You can ensure you're getting the best possible deal by comparing prices and features. Number 12, make your yes and no valuable. Being involved in a social community is a great way to settle in a new place, and it can be tempting to say yes to every invite you get from new friends. For example, if you're invited to an expensive dinner or event you can afford, it's okay to say no. The same goes for shopping trips or other activities that are not in your budget. Just be honest with yourself and your newfound friends to maintain a balance between healthy relationships and finances. Every newcomer may face various challenges and advantages. As for my family, we were at an advantage when it came to housing because we only had to shell out $500 a month to live with my sister and her family. Other than that, we didn't have to buy basic home items because they were gracious enough to share with us. We showed our gratitude by sharing and helping out whenever we could in other areas. That's important. By God's grace, we have committed to a strict financial plan, and we were able to afford our mortgage after a year and a month to settle in our new home. So let me tell you my final thoughts. Starting over in a new country can both be exciting and challenging, so it's important to take the time to settle in and adjust to your new surroundings. Remember, you're in control of your finances. If you want to thrive as a new immigrant in Canada, it's crucial to be mindful of your spending and make smart financial decisions. Following these frugal tips can help you achieve your goals and achieve a better quality of life. I also want you to check out my website, www.findingjoywithless.com, where I have some articles there that will encourage you to live in Canada as a family. I also wrote about 15 great strategies to survive on a low-income budget and also shared simple strategies for financial freedom, and I will link them in the show notes. So tell me, what are the challenges you've faced as an immigrant, and how were you able to overcome them? Or if you're just planning to immigrate somewhere, what are some challenges that you think you'd have? And let us know if these tips would be helpful for you. Share it with us in the comments when you leave a rating and review of this podcast. Thank you. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, please take a moment to subscribe to my show and share it with your family and friends on social media. I appreciate that a lot. And you're also welcome to leave a review and or suggestions by rating the show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or you can leave me a message through my website, findingjoywithless.com/podcast. I'll link it in the show notes. Thank you.